First things first, we start at Luton, Liverpool, not a penalty. There's no way Ross Barkley intends on blocking the ball or making himself bigger. He's not even looking at the ball. It's come from a corner, he's jumped, the ball's gone over him. It's a natural action. His arms are in the air, which he used for elevation. Van Dijk heads it and it hits him on his elbow. He's not even looking at the ball. So no, can't be a penalty. You can't give that one. Next we go to Craven Cottage, where Maguire was judged to be offside when United scored the goal. McTominay's goal was disallowed because Maguire was offside in the lead up to that goal. He's clearly engaged, he's active, he makes a run for the ball and he clearly tries to play the ball. Just because he doesn't get it and Garnacho gets it at the back post and crosses it does not make this a legitimate goal. The flag goes up once the player is active. This is simple really. If you think about it, just because the goal gets scored a few seconds after this, it does not make it any difficult to give. It's an easy decision. Once the player is in an offside position and makes an attempt for the ball, it's offside and the flag should go up. I actually blame what happened last season at Old Trafford when Man United scored a very controversial goal, to say the least. That goal shouldn't have stood. Rashford was miles offside. He makes a run towards the ball, he runs with the ball, along the ball. Yes, he doesn't touch it, but he's clearly engaged, and then at the last minute he just leaves it for Bruno Fernandes. That's the definition of interfering with play. You interfere with play once you actually make a run towards the ball, or if you make any movement to get away from the ball, you are interfering with play. If the ball was going to hit you and you move out of the way on purpose, that is the definition of interfering with play. I did call it out when Man City's goal against Fulham was given and it shouldn't have stood, where Akanji was not necessarily in the line of the keeper, but he had moved out of the way to not stop the shot. That should have been disallowed. And in this case, it's not a debate. It's easy to give. Maguire was engaged, should not be a goal. Offside is the correct decision. Now onto the main event for the weekend. Newcastle's goal, we'll start there. There were 3 checks, one for the ball being out of play, one for the potential foul by Joelinton on Gabriel, and one for potential offside. And for me, I think it's less subjective than people make it out to be. I think it's very easy. It's always a foul. In that situation, anywhere on the pitch, everywhere on the pitch, all the time, both hands on a player's back while jumping, that's infringement, that's a foul. It's not subjective at all. I feel like even if Gabriel has got his positioning wrong, even if he's went to flick it and he's already stooping, he's clearly put 2 hands on his back. How can that not be a foul? There's no way that's a legal action. That can't be something that's accepted, and for that I think it's the easiest one out of the 3 to rule the goal out for. Yes, the ball being out, apparently our eyes can deceive us. There are angles. They showed an image that the ball actually still remained in play, because remember, the whole of the ball has to go out. I don't mind that, although I'm yet to see a very convincing image, but it happens all the time. When players put the ball down on the penalty spot, it looks like they're just putting it right there at the edge, and sometimes it looks like it's not even on the spot. Or for a corner, same thing, right? So it's fine. And it's also happened to Man United, where the ball looked like it was in, but it was actually out from a different camera angle. The excuse was that they didn't have the correct shot to specifically confirm that the ball was out of play, and therefore the on-field decision, remained, right? And it was the same thing for the offside. They said that they can't conclusively say that he was definitely in an offside position, and therefore therefore they cannot rule out the goal, and therefore the decision that was made by the refs and the linesmen will stand. I mean, it's a little bit shocking, but I don't think he's offside. Personally, I think he's behind the ball, so that's fine, but the goal shouldn't have stood. Okay, for me this one was horrifying. How Bruno G stayed on the pitch after this is completely shocking. There was no way he does not get sent off for his elbow off the ball challenge on the head of another player. This was the worst one. I think there's no way VAR misses that. And mind you, he was already on a yellow card, and this is just a straight red. At any point, you are not allowed to lift your hands or to hit a player on the head with anything. Okay, someone will be like, what about Kai Havertz? Kai Havertz tackle should have been a red card. In theory, I hear you, because in theory, you don't need to actually make contact with a player to get a red card. You can get a red card from just your intention. Okay, so in this case, you can see Kai Havertz's intention was to actually hurt the player, so he could have gotten a red card for that. But I think in practice, this wasn't going to be a red card, because he actually doesn't catch him with his leg that he's gone in with force. He actually catches him with his trailing leg, and that leg is not high, and that leg is not his foot is not like really high, stands up, and it's not a leg breaker in any way. Just because he gets lucky and actually avoids him with his right leg. That is what saves Kai Havertz from the red card. And I think in practice, it's always like that. It's always the trailing leg is not the one that gets you a red card. Anyway, to wrap up your Premier League weekend, what a game. Newcastle Arsenal, what a brilliant football game. I love those type of games. Away at Newcastle, not easy, toxic environment, very hostile ground, that is. Congratulations to them for the win. I don't think it's the biggest robbery in the world, but okay, we move. Your shock result of the weekend, Liverpool drew. Yes, Liverpool drew to Luton Town. Shout out to Lucho, though, for getting his goal. Free his father. For those who don't know, his father is still kidnapped. His mother was also kidnapped, but she's been released. Sending prayers to his father and his family. He even asked to play, and he even scored in the few minutes that he came onto the pitch. Darwin Núñez with the miss of the season. Open goal. Okay, not really open, but that was a tap-in. And that is, you won't see a worse miss this season, although he already delivered one himself in the Europa League. I don't know what's going on with Darwin Núñez, but yeah, that was very poor, very disappointing. Thought after that Newcastle performance, he'd go on to do better, but no, that's not the case. Man United won. Ole is back at the wheel. Listen to me saying Ole. Ten Hag is back at the wheel. Anthony, again, another poor performance from him, not looking anything like his valuation. But yeah, Ten Hag looks like he'll stay again one more month. He's bought himself a month. Bruno Fernandes' goal, late winner, has bought some time for Ten Hag to get his things together. And my last thoughts on the Arsenal statement, I think it's okay that Arteta can make emotional statements at full time after he feels aggrieved. That's okay. But for the fact that Arsenal came out and released a statement, I think that was childish. I think Arsenal are throwing tantrums. I did not know when professional established brands are cloud chasing, because that's what it seems like. It seems like they're just cloud chasing, looking for excuses. I mean, for me, it's just classless. With that being said, I mean, who am I? It's just my 2 cents. Have a good one. I'll catch you on the next one.